got to move it stage. Ooh, that don't work though. Got to move it stage. Yeah. Ooh, that don't work though. Yeah. Okay, we need to cut that. We'll shut this down for us. Boy, what a pain. Trying to get all this stuff set up. It's a little bit of a tweak. I've been running my other software, and usually it works pretty good. Trying to get all this stuff set up. It's a little bit of a tweak. Why did that come back on? Arr. Get rid of you. YouTube channel, move this one here. We'll do this one first to make it easy. Okay. Here we go. Now it looks like at least I'm cooking with some propane accessories. All right. So we got the optic, or the origin, obviously. Sorry, optic origin. So let me bring this up so you can see. Go ahead and maximize that here so I can see a little bit better. So what I want to do, as I said in the title, is we need to update some software on the Holmes. I need to get that done. And I want to go through, I've already done it, but I'll show you what we need to do the Reefs SMART Servos, which is a very easy process. Make back out here. Leave that out. I didn't leave it out, did I? I don't believe I did. No. I think we'll do that first because it's really easy to get into the program on how to do this. That is simple. So you get your Reefs Programmer. Need a battery. Can I use that one? Yeah, I can use that one. No, I don't need a battery for this. That's right. So you grab your servo, pull her out of the case here. Take your programmer. Set this cocky-eyed. Plug your programmer in. And we will take this and plug our servo. You can tell on your program you got two black wires and a gray wire. Your gray wire is your signal, so your signal wire will plug into that side, so that will go like this. Now we can come over here. Let me do this. I got to figure this out here real quick. Do it like this. Can I change that setting around? Oh yeah, let's go like this. Now I can add share screen. All right, so let's open up a new tab here. We'll come over to Reefs for a minute. Oh, wait, I don't think I need to do that. I think I need to come in here because I've already got it. Let's go in here, go in here, go in here. All right. So let's go to window and go here, go to share. Now, double check that that's popping through, and it should be. Yep, there we go. We'll come up on that. Actually, I need to bring this window up. So you come over to your piece, and let me unplug this for the moment. Oh, actually, it is, because I don't have it powered on. This USB setup here, I can power it on and off. I haven't turned it on yet. So you open up your Reefs program. Let me bring that over to the other window. Make sure you can see that over here. Should be dragging that over in a second. Where are you at? Come on. Oh, that's that window. Yeah, you should be popping it in here anytime. Why don't you show that? Let's see. We'll pop that up here. Come on now. Share screen seems to be acting a little bit funny. Which screen is it on? It should be showing that. All right, let me double check this. Go ahead, stop screen. Let's add another one. No, I guess I have to go this way. Gotta go this way to get it on there. It appears. So let me pop over here real quick. Bring that up behind. There we go. Yep, that's doing it now. Okay, so you get your programmer open. You plug in your USB. It recognized. Bam, bam, bam. Now, I have it set to servo operation right now. Pretty easy to do. That's what it was for. Programmer. So I can use this one. So to change it, you go to your UPF. And that's going to open up your window here. Where did we go? Missed it. And in your window, you go, you got to find out, you got to download. Now, they got different ones for each of their servos. So if you have the Smart 900 or the 1100, I don't know if the 1400 is a Smart. The Smart 422. The 179, but any of the Reefs Smart Servos, you have to get the right file for that servo, whether you want winch operation or servo operation or load it. So as you see here, I've got winch and servo. So let me double check, make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yep, you got it there. Let me raise you back down. So you got your winch servo. So I'm going to load servo in here, and you open it. Goes through. Firmware is incorrect. Error. Okay, let's wait a minute here. And let's go ahead and unplug. We'll double check. We'll plug into our servo here. Yeah. Our tester. Power it up. Probably too much juice. Probably better not use that. Probably a little too hot for it. May only be 2S capable. So, and it's still in, yeah, it's still in servo or winch mode. So, unplug it. Plug it back in. I just did this yesterday and it worked just fine. So, UPF Smart Open. Saying it's incorrect again. Let me do this. Let me go ahead and shut this down. Read. There we go. Success update. There, it looks like it worked right. So now I should unplug here, come over here, and now, not yet. What in the wide world of sports is going on here? Go ahead and shut you down. Close you and reopen you. All right. So let's turn you on. We got y'all plugged in. Boom. I wonder if Reefs has a updated software. That's the version 1 unit. Saying firmware is incorrect now all of a sudden. Interesting. Let me go back to Reefs here and just double check real quick. Reefs RC programming software. This is the V1. Let me go ahead and get the new V1 software. That's what I got. Okay, yep, that's what it is. So I don't need that. I'll take V2 just so I have it. All right, let's come down here now. Standard mode. Doesn't look like a... Does look slightly different. Let's go ahead and download that one. We'll save this just because it's the older one. So let's go ahead and minimize this out of the way. Let's go to UPF. Let's try this one. The same firmware is incorrect too. Oh, no, there it went. That was the right one. So now you can see your setup there is for your servo positioning. So now we put this in here. Now it should act as a servo. So it does matter if you got the right software, obviously. So to change it back to a winch, you come back into your UPF. Whoop. Plug your servo back in first. Now come over to UPF. You'll switch your SM winch. Open that up. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Now you see your two settings, your power on PMW and everything else set up. That's your winch. If you want to reverse, you can invert. So come back over here, plug it back in. Now we're in winch duty again. So that's all there is to it. That is a very easy thing to do. So the winch is servo is set up in winch duty and ready to install. So easy as long as you got the right software. So I should go back in and delete the one that isn't the right one. I had it out, but okay. Come in here, come up here, come in here. So this one is not the right one, so we're going to delete it because I wasn't getting it to load in. So that's version 2. Let's go ahead and rename V2 Programmer. Let's call this V1 Programmer. Ooh, I got properties, not rename. Which is what I got, the V1. So you just load up whichever one I see. I've got the 900 and the 1100. I got both of those servos as well. Although I got them in other rigs. And they've been working just fine as well. So close this out. Bring, how do we close? Oh yes, exit U. Bring a window back up. Double check. Oh yes, exit there, back to that. So yeah, that's a very, very easy thing to deal with. Let me put this stuff back in here. So I'm waiting for an adapter plate before I can install it. It won't be here probably till Friday, it appears. But I need the adapter plate so I can get it installed up front where it needs to go. Stuff this stuff in here. It doesn't quite fit with that wheel on there. But yeah, that's a pretty simple thing to do. Now, doing the rest of this, as far as the Holmes thing, is about as simple. But it's a little bit trickier because I got everything wired up and I got to get my wire out now. So I can do it. Oh, excuse me. I've already got the programmer plugged in, ready to go. Already went out and fed the birds. So I don't have to go do that. I'm surprised the cat ain't in here yelling at me, though. Which she will be soon, I'm sure. Okay. So that's that. Now, I got to do a little surgery here. Not much. Just got to get my ESC out and fingerable. And they're kind of tight. Antennas. Those out of the way. These will stand. I got my head in the way. Oh, look at that feedback. I've got to change back. So yeah, you ain't seeing nothing that I'm doing. So let's go ahead and remove you. Go back to you. So you guys can see what's up. There we go. You see I'm getting into the side. Getting my servo out, or my receiver out, so I can unplug my wire. But like I say, things are kind of tight. I got everything packed up in here. Not exactly the easiest thing to do. So that's number 8. There we go. Go ahead and take out number 1. Make it a little bit easier to get you out of my way. Number 2. Well, I got it pretty tight in there. I think I got that zip stripped down. That should be plenty. Still not sure what I put R on there for. So let me double check a few things. So what I'm going to do is, before we do this, because it's been a while since I programmed in and I've not updated the firmware, so I want to make sure. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back to how can I do this as name? I'm going to go to stop screen. Go back to share screen. That's that one. So I can close that one out. Yeah, we're going to check this one out first. Cover upgrade. And return you back for a minute. We'll come into this one. This is talking about his own 32 site. So if you've got a Holmes Hobby 2-in-1 or the CM3 option or whatever, or anything using the AM32, this is going to be for you. So let's go ahead.
And as I have maybe said in previous videos, I am working on...
Whoop. Go ahead and back this up a little bit. Let me share that screen. Bring it up. Now we'll go ahead and play it through. And I have to mute, I believe. So I believe it will play the feed through. I don't want to loop and create a loop, so maybe I'll turn it up a little bit because it is playing out. So, John Holmes.
And as I have maybe said in previous videos, I am working on the software side myself now. Nobody's going to look out for my own back better than me, and so there's things that I've been wanting to change on the AM32 website that are now done. And the way that you can find them is if you go to homes.am32.ca. This is essentially a live website of my repository. You can even find it on GitHub if you want. And I have made changes specifically for the needs of rock crawlers. Moving forwards, if you want to program your AM32 for a rock crawler situation, this is the website to do it on, homes.am32.ca. There we go, boom, as you can see. So all of our settings are as we want. So if you're working on a rock crawler, I do recommend that you at least go to bind homes.am32.ca and use the SynCrawler defaults. And then you can go back to the main one if you want to change things like the startup tones or whatever. But otherwise, they are going to be identical at this time, except for the startup tone tab. And
there. So that's that one. Okay, so now let me open up a edit name stop screen. How do I change it? I thought I would be able to just change to a different. Okay, I guess we'll remove it. We'll add one. Another share screen. This time we'll do this one. This is the one that's going to deal with it. Okay.
Today we're going to cover upgrading your CrawlMaster 2-in-1 or CrawlMaster Speed Controller to 2.19 on AM32. You may want this for the hold break function or some of the newer features that are available, so follow along. To program your speed controller, or to upgrade your firmware in this case, we will need a few things. You will need a laptop computer that connects to the internet. You will need your USB programming device and a programming cable, not just a charging cable. We'll go over that here in a second. You, of course, will need your 2-in-1. You'll need a battery, and you'll probably want a radio just to test things out. So let's start. The first thing I want to do is make sure that this is a data cable, not a charging cable. When we plug it into the computer, we're going to hear it tell us that there's a device. There we
go. You heard that. It's recognizing the programmer. We'll do that now. You heard mine. Green light.
There we go. So this means that it does see this. If you plug it in and you don't get that little doo-doo, that means you just have a charging cable. So we are good to go in that regard. What you will want to do is download some files. So we're going to start by going to holmeshobbies.com. We are going to go to our motor category or combos maybe. Let's see, where is it? Where is it? Yes, motor and ESC combos. And 2-in-1 brushless. Click on any of those and scroll down. And what we're going to find is this repo here on the Google.
Okay, we're going to pause this because that's changed a little bit. I believe I've already done them. So let me go ahead and revert. Let me stop that. Let me share a screen, share a screen, share a screen. Let's do the entire screen. Share this. That way that screen's up there. Now I should be able to come over to here. Yep, that does what I thought it would do. It gives me, so whatever I click to, you see. So we've done this one. We'll move you over here, move you back here. So I'll come here for a moment. I'm going to come up. Programmers. Holmes AM32. As you see, I've got 193 to adjust to 219. All the config stuff already downloaded here. The driver is README. Config tools and firmware, or the older ones. This is the newer USB style. I've got that driver. I've got that. Our firmwares. Here's our other 219s, a mini, older stuff. Your bootloader for update hex. So I pretty much got all this newer software. But we'll double check when we come in here. So let's go back to his stuff and go from here.
Google Drive. That's going to have all the files that we need. We're going to download them now. What we need is the updated firmware. And before you get into all this, you will, of course, need to have your USB program driver installed. I'm not going to cover that in this video, but if you've already programmed your stuff before, then you will have that ready. But just in case,
Driver is installed already.
if you haven't done that, then you'll want to first download your USB drivers, install the driver, and then you should be ready to go. We're going to go to firmwares in this case. ProMaster B3 or 2-in-1, they use the same chipset, so going into there. And we're talking about 2.19 with whole break. So that is our beta folder. Boom, right there. So we're going to download the website programming binary. We are going to download our beta 1 right there. And those are the two files we need. The programming binary is just going to help us reset our settings. So it's kind of a little cheat code there. Next up, we're going to use Chrome for this. AM32.ca.
Now, this is a little bit older than the last video, so instead of going to AM32CA, this is where you come over to homes.am32.ca. You go to his section of the, or his website for the AM32 programmer. So let's come back over here.
You can do these with the configurator software. You need two different configurator softwares to get this done. I recommend using the website instead. If it doesn't work for you, put your comment down below. We'll try to figure this out. But generally, if you use Chrome, when you plug this in, it's going to ask if the website can access. So we're going to go up here. We can actually see that it sees our serial device. We're going to port select. We are on COM5. And we connect. Boom. So now we should be able to do what we need to do. We're going to connect to the USB device, ground to ground. Then we boot up our controller.
Let's pause. So that was the other thing. I wasn't sure which way to plug it in. You hold it upside down. Let me back up a smidge.
Connect.
There you go. You hold it upside down. Your white cable, your signal cable is downward. So as you're looking at the back of the board, your signal is on the bottom. So when you plug it in, you'll plug it in with your signal wire facing you. So let me double check what he does here.
USB device, ground to ground. And then we boot up our controller with our battery. Since our controller, or our 2-in-1, didn't give us any chimes, that tells us that it is actually connected and it's not trying to operate. Now we hit our connect button.
There we go. So you plug it all in and then connect. So from here, we should be able to come over here, plug ourselves in. Well, actually, yeah, we're connected. It beeped in. Get ourselves plugged in. Our light changes from the green one to the green and the orange. So we're connected. Port select. No options. Huh. What's up with that? Let's see what I got to do here. I've got the downloads right here. There we go. Huh. Why? There we go. Port select. USB connect. And now connect. Taking a minute. He said something about this taking a minute last time. Just disconnect. Do our port select. We want to be on through. All right. Can't change that. Connect. Huh. Interesting. Says it's connected to device. You know what? I know what I forgot. Let's disconnect. Port's ready. I forgot to power it up. My orange light went out. Hopefully that ain't a bad problem. There we go. Bootloader. CMV3 Mini 2.11. So here's all of our settings. Our stuck motor protection, no. RPM lock anti-stall, yes. Hall sensors, no. No telemetry or variable PMW. Throttle drag brake, yep. Our timing setup, I ain't gonna change any of that. We'll change the motor KV. Well, I guess that's about right. Go a little over 3020, yep. 3000 kV, 10-pole motor. Volume is 6. I believe the PMW. That's 3.3 volts. I'll leave all that in place. Sign startup, sign power. Instant reverse. All right, so we'll come back over to John here.
So when we flash the firmware, we are going to go in here. You want to ignore the current MCU layout. It gives you an alert if you flash the wrong one on the wrong one, then you'll have some problems. But otherwise, it doesn't see which one this is. I don't believe we are on the website currently. I'll try to get that worked on. However, for what we're doing right now, we're going to go local because we downloaded the file.
All right, let's pause here. Let's come over here, configurator, flash the firmware, 2.19. That's what we want. And double check that's what he said.
Alert if you flash the wrong one on the wrong one. So when we flash the firmware, we are going to go in here. You want to ignore the current MCU layout. It gives you.
Okay, yep. Ignore current MCU layout. Yep.
Alert if you flash the wrong one on the wrong one, then you'll have some problems. But otherwise, it doesn't see which one.
I don't know if it's in here or not. These are all 219. But I don't know if it's got home, so we'll take a look. I don't think it does. We'll look through here and see if there's a Holmes in here. I don't see one yet. We got a ways to go. And a Crawlmaster. I don't know if that's the right one. So let's keep going because this is the 2-in-1. I think that's the right one. FO31. We'll double check. Yeah, I don't see it for sure. Other than that possible Crawlmaster one. So let's come back over here.
And this is, I don't believe we are on the website currently. I'll try to get that worked on. However, for what we're doing right now, we're going to go local, because we downloaded the file, if you remember. And we are looking for beta 1, 2.19. And this is at the point I would.
All right, so go to local. T1, beta 1, beta 2. Let me move this down a little bit here. Ten 20. 1020. So these all came in about the same time. These things 604, 604, 603. So I downloaded that one first. But he said 211 2.19 beta hex. Open.
I believe we are on the website currently. I'll try to get that worked on. However, for what we're doing right now, we're going to go local. So we download the file, if you remember. And we are looking for beta 1, 2.19. And
Back just a smidge. CM 211 2.19 beta 1.hex. CM 211 2.1 beta 1.hex. So that's the one.
2.19. And this is at the point I would say it's not beta anymore. However, for the sake of testing, we're going to call it a beta. But we have done a lot of testing with it now. It seems to be very stable. I haven't encountered any problems that we can't solve through reflashing our settings yet. So we're going to just wait for it to flash. It takes a minute for the website. Now we can have some vent time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 99%. And oh, you hear that? That means that it worked. Now it's resetting. It's reading, and we just click off of this screen, and boom, we're ready to go. Now, there is a README file in our file folder that I showed you at first. I'm going to show you the README, but it's in there, and it will step you through doing all of this. The next thing that we need to do is send default config.
Okay, let's stop here. So we are pretty much ready. Got it. We'll start flash. See it working back here. See, our light is flickering, telling it to take that information, baby. So we'll let this run through. Now, I haven't updated the firmware since I've got this, so it's the firmware that was on it out of the box. I did log into it and double check everything was set. Seemed to be right per John's recommendations. At first, the 3000 kV version seemed to be running a bit warm, and that was before with the original firmware, and this 2.19 should do that. I've only taken this thing for a small, short 2-3 minute ride. When I first got it all put together, before I did all the interior and stuff, just to make sure everything was working right. So I did all that, got that all set. So from there, it's not been powered up. I've been doing all the other stuff, getting all the other things taken care of and put together on it. But yeah, I haven't even powered it up since I first got it put together. I'm actually doing all the detail work and getting the interior and everything taken care of. 80%, so it does take a minute or two. So as you see on John's site, he's already got the stuff loaded in, some of it anyways. The rest of it will be there. As he said, it takes and goes. Now we went over, it's going to finish up, it's going to read the config. We're going to come back over. Okay, that's all done. We're going to back up a little bit to where it was.
Make sure you read me, but it's in there and it will step you through doing all of this. The next thing that we need to do is send default config. We are going to overwrite the current config. Yes. Now, this is more of UAV settings right now. It's not what you want the problem. We are currently building a new configurator website that will be specific to rock crawling settings, but for the moment we don't have that, and that's why I provided this binary. So we are going to apply a config file. We're going to choose the file, settings for website programming, binary right there. We want to unselect and reselect the ESC just to be sure that it applies properly. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, depending on the version of your browser. So there we go. We're going to hit apply. Boom, it's applied. Now, the next thing we want.
All right, we're going to pause. We're going to back up a little bit. We're going to run back through that just so it's clear.
Have that, and that's why I provided this binary. So we are going to apply a config file. We're going to choose the file, settings for website.
Okay, so I don't know if I've got that. We're going to come over here, close that out, apply config, choose the file. There we go. Settings file for website programming. Open, unselect, reselect.
Programming binary right there. We want to unselect and reselect the ESC just to be sure that it applies properly. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, depending on the version of your browser. So there we go. We're going to hit apply. Boom, it's applied. Now, the next thing we want to do is read. Right here, we're going to read these configurations.
Okay, stop. We'll come back over here. We'll apply. Boom. It's apply. Now read. As he said, read this configuration. There we go. Bootloader. PB4, E-Type, E230, version 1, EEPROM, firmware. There we go, version 219, CM Mini Dual. Dual being, I believe, the 2-in-1. Forward and reverse. So let's go back to John now.
That resets everything. We're going to look. So we got 3D mode over here. That means good to rock crawl. We're going to go down.
Okay, double check. I don't see 3D mode. Instead, it's showing me something a little bit different.
Yeah, let's start at power 100%. We got KV, PWM, beeper, 10 pole. We want variable PWM.
Okay, make sure that's all the same. Variable PO10 pole, beeper 11. 220, let's move that up to the 3020 because it is a 3000 kV motor here. So let's see what he's got. Variable, cap PPM, RPM, manual lock install, stall protection. So yeah, it looks like my configurators. Well, this is not on his website. This is on the AM32 version of the product. That's probably the difference.
Minimum duty cycle. Both of those are not correct. So, along with our current controls, you can see here, those are all zeros. We don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read one more time. Make sure that those.
Let's go ahead and do that. See what he's got. See, he's got these all set already.
Will change, and then we are going to reapply our config file. We're going to apply this config, and it should
Gosh darn it.
pop those where we need it to be. Program bin, go. Yeah, see, first time on this browser, we can't hit apply. So I reselect, we hit apply, and it should, there we go. So for some reason, we need to apply twice on this particular build, but just know you may need to apply twice.
So let's go ahead and try that. Go ahead and reread. Then send crawler defaults. Double check that. Forward and reverse 219. All right. Let's see. Back to 320. Let's go ahead and do this back. Okay. Reread. There we go. I thought I somehow kicked something off there. 3020. Yeah, see, both these cutoffs are back where you had them.
So here's the settings that we want to see. We got the ramp rate. I have it at 16% duty cycle per millisecond. In our own build, we'll have it a little bit more easy to understand. Then we'll duty cycle at 0.5%. We also have current control in here. PID, we don't need to talk about that yet because we're just upgrading stuff. Now, what you want to know about the Holmes right here. Brake on stop is normal drag brake. So if you're having issues with this guy sliding or rolling on a hill, you need a little bit more drag brake for the gearing that you have and you don't want to gear down anymore, you're going to go to active brake right here.
So what he's saying is brake on stop, drag brake on stop. If you want a little bit more brake power because you're not getting it, you'll select active brake on stop.
For this particular setup that I've got, this is a 2300 kV motor and I'm running on 4S. I know from previous experience that I'm going to want to have this at about 3% for it to work. This is something that you will have to test for every setup. The gearing, your voltage, and your kV will change things. Not will work.
All right, so he's actually got it turned off right now, unless we bring on active. Now it's here. Like I said, that's where you want that to be about 3%, I think. But we're going to go back to there. Double tap reverse. Nope, don't want to do that. We'll leave it where it's at.
Working on making that a little bit simpler on your end in the future. But for now, just be aware that this is something that you will have to adjust. You need to figure out your active brake power that you need for your particular settings. My particular settings, I don't need active brake. I have plenty of drag brake, and the gearing that I usually choose on crawlers is not a problem at all. So I'm not going to select that generally. As a matter of fact, I'm going to unselect that, go back to the normal drag brake on stop. And we are going to save our settings. There we go. We hit
Pop. No. Next, double check our stuff. We should be all right. I'll leave his timing settings. I'll leave his sign, his motor. I'll change the motor KV for the 3000 because I'm not in the 2300. More poles is 10. Beeper volumes all the way up. PPM frequency, I'll leave right where it's at. I'll leave everything else where it's at. 330, current limit. Everything else seems to be good. We'll come up here. We'll save. Guess can't do anything. We'll do a read just to make sure it's there. And I don't think I need to reverse rotation mode. So that should be it.
save. And as you can see, it gives you a little circle with the X through it, the Ghostbuster symbol. That means you can't resave. And if you want to double check everything, we're going to hit that read button one more time. And we're going to look. All right, 3D mode, we're good. This is the 2.19 Crawlmaster Mini dual input. That means we have our drag brake selectable input.
So I am going to have to double check because like he's talking about the 3D mode. And his website, I don't have that. And I think that's because he was on their AM32's website doing this. And I think they called it 3D mode where he's got them set up a little bit differently on his website.
Our timing advance is good.
Which is what he was discussing in this video right there.
Motor poles are good. Everything's looking good. We don't want stuck rotor protection, but we do want stall protection. All these things I included in this binary. Our current control is enabled. We have time startup. Our extended settings are where I want it to be. We're looking good. So we are ready to unplug this guy. And these things will reboot if you simply plug it into a radio, and all your settings should be good. There we go. Ready to go. However, if it's acting a little funny, maybe your drag brake isn't right, unplug it, let it sit for a few seconds, plug it back in, and then you should be good. So we've got normal drag brake. It's nothing active. It will spin a little bit, but it's enough for my settings, enough for my setups. There we go. Our sign. Put it on the table so you can hear it a little bit. No, and there we go. She's running. It's the thing. So a few things that you may run into if your throttle is unsmooth, if there's jumps on the throttle, or it's just acting glitchy. Reset your stock settings. That's the one thing. Then default config. For some reason, sometimes a few people have had an issue where there's a glitch in our throttle response midway through, and that is because we are upgrading a lot in the firmware. Completely different firmware. The settings are written differently. So what we need to do is make sure that we reset those settings, and then we go in and apply the configuration that I gave you in that binary file. And that's pretty much it. We are good to go. If you have any issues with this thing, post down below. Let me know where you're having issues. Maybe even create a little YouTube that I can watch, and we will try our best to step you through it. Otherwise, we can help out with the programming ourselves. If you really can send something in, if you want to upgrade or whatever. But for the time being, if you can figure out how to use that included USB for your own configurator, highly suggest using the AM32.ca at this point moving forward, because it's pretty universal. Doesn't matter what operating system you're on, you just need currently a laptop with a USB, and especially you need a USB cable, but not just charge cable, it needs to be that cable. Moving forward, what we're working on is a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth programming option. The Bluetooth will work as an app on a phone, and the Wi-Fi will actually host this website, specifically the custom one I'm working on, so that you can program by having a device that is essentially in line with your speed controller or two.
And that's what he was talking about here, his website.
In this case, then it'll be a little easier than this situation. I understand this isn't for everybody. Nobody wants to be attached to a laptop anymore. You want to be out in the field and adjust your stuff on the fly. But honestly, once you get it set, it's good. You don't really have to adjust these guys. But I know some people like tweak. So there we go. That's where we are at on this. Give you a little update and also telling you how to upgrade to your 2.19. Once again, any questions, leave them down below. If you have any problems, leave them down below. We'll do our best to help you out with it. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Have fun on the rocks.
So yeah, that's pretty easy to do. So I'm going to go ahead and move you and X you right out. So we should be good. Back on our main page. I should pop over here in a second. Yep, there we go. So what I'm going to do now that I'm powered out and set up is unpower. Now unplug. Go ahead and shut off my piece. Pull my USB out because I don't need it in anymore. So I think what I got to do there is just update the actual AM32 programming application. I'm going to put this into a bag I should have here. That's a little too small. There we go. It'll fit in there. Yeah, that's a little too small too. Got stuff in it. So I need to actually probably just get one set up for this stuff directly. I'll go ahead and put it in here because this is the rest of the things I do have in here for this particular rig. That way it's together and not gonna be an issue. So yeah, there we go. That should do it. Really easy, like I say, to take care of. Now I can't power it up. I could, but I still have to go through and get the radio itself set up and programmed, the RC 8X from Radio Link. I bought a new one of those for this rig, and then of course others, and that way I've got two of them with a bunch of two Radio Link radios, an RC60S and the RC8X. This way, me and other people want to run, all I got to do is rebind, which is very simple. But I can't test it because I got to get that radio set up. I got to get all the EPA set up before I fire it up so I don't start burning things out until I can get into that channel and get it set up. So I got to go through that and deal with that. And I'll do that on the next video here. So yeah, I just want to kind of jump on real quick, do a fairly quick video on what to do and how to run through and change your smart servo options. So it can be either a servo or a winch, because that smart servos have that capability to be either. And then update the firmware on the AM or on the Holmes Hobby 2-in-1 to get that ready. So thanks for hanging out or checking out the video. If you do get in here and check it out, please do me a favor, hit that like, hit the subscribe button. When you choose subscribe, you hit that bell, choose all. And this is for any video any YouTuber you subscribe to. If you just subscribe, it defaults to personal subscription messages. So I would have to send you, or that content creator you're subscribing to would have to send you a message to you saying, hey, I put up a new video. Where if you choose all, everything they put up, new videos, you get a notification on. So if you don't choose the all, you might not be getting the stuff you want to see and missing a lot of videos. So there you go. Thanks a lot hanging out. I appreciate it. We will talk to you guys later. I'm going to shut her down. I'm going to grab some lunch or some dinner myself, get the cat fed, and then when I come back, we'll start another quick live, and I'm going to turn around and do the radio program and set up, and we'll do the checks in then. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you in a bit. Have a good one.